present he had chosen. He knew how toy soldiers can come to life for a child. In their world, the Tin Men would absorb many hours of play, drilling, parading about, and finally marching heroically into imaginary battle. But as carefully crafted as these soldiers were, there was a flaw. One soldier had been made with only one leg. He was the last soldier to be cast, and there had not been quite enough tin to finish him. To remedy this, he'd been completed with a false leg. From the beginning, though, the boy called him my one-legged soldier. There was no denying that there was something special about him. The one-legged soldier seemed to be more noble and even more lifelike than the rest. He stood as steadily on his one good leg as the others did on their two. The boy took him to his father. He insisted that this figure seemed so alive that he thought he could actually hear his heart beating. Whether that was true or not, the steadfast little tin soldier and his men had made this the best birthday ever. The boy was entranced by his new tin friend, and soon he was pretending that he was the gal. The party a little longer, but late was late and bedtime was bedtime, so off they went. Later that night in the nursery of the room, perhaps he'd only had a little too much birthday cake, but for some reason the boy had a fitful sleep and a terrible nightmare about the Harlequin Jack-in-the-Box that he had just received. He dreamed that it was no ordinary toy at all, but an evil goblin that didn't wish any of the other toys well. Magical time in the nursery. The time when once everyone is asleep, the toys can dance and play by themselves. Unlike his comrades who were still locked in their box, the one-legged tin soldier was free to dance with the rest of the toys and meet some very interesting characters, like the Ragdoll. There was also the sailor, the strong man, and the clown. The tin soldier was honored to make the acquaintance of the Duke and Duchess of Throg. There was a lively lively and outgoing China doll. But what made the soldiers' beating hearts stop was the appearance of the beautiful ballerina he had met earlier that evening. She danced with such astounding grace and perfection that the soldier felt as if his tin heart would melt. Although they had been introduced earlier, the soldier was still shy about approaching the ballerina. The other toys encouraged him and suggested that he invite the ballerina to dance. Still, the soldier hesitated. How could he dance with the graceful ballerina when he had only one good leg? But the tin soldier was brave of heart, and his love for the ballerina left him no choice but to go over to her. The soldier confessed to the ballerina that he felt awkward and uncomfortable, that one of his legs was false. But it made his spirit soar when she told him that she loved him exactly the way he was. Long into the evening they danced and teased one another and played the silly sort of games that people in love often do. But their evening together was not to go as planned. The horrible Jack-in-the-Box, whom you will recall was actually an evil goblin, interrupted their dance.
Why do you stare at this pretty ballerina so?
He asked the tin soldier.
Keep your eyes to yourself. In fact, keep to yourself altogether.
The tin soldier tried to ignore him and pretend as if the ogre were not there. But the goblin Jack-in-the-Box was not so easy to dismiss. Before long, the other toys rushed to help the young lovers, but the Harlequin Goblin was not to be deterred.
Just wait until tomorrow, he hissed.
With the danger gone, the games continued. The toys in the nursery were not about to let one grouchy goblin ruin everyone's fun for the whole evening. And so it was that the Duke and Duchess of Frog led everyone in a courtly game of tennis. The beautiful ballerina had a treat for everyone too. She released a splendid bird from a cage so that everyone could see its magnificent feathers and hear its lilting voice. It turned into a terrific party. The thing toys know best is how to play and have a good time. At last, with dawn drawing nigh, it was time for the party to end. The tin soldier walked his lovely dancer back to the castle where she lived and said good night. When he was finally left alone, the tin soldier thought about what an extraordinary day it had been, and what a special feeling being in love with the ballerina had given him. wonderful to have someone to care for. And since he was a soldier, he would make it his job to protect her. The delicate, graceful ballerina who lived in the castle. The tin soldier became lost in his deep feelings for her until... It was the goblin. It was a fearsome struggle. The steadfast tin soldier fought valiantly. In the end, the powers of the goblin were too much for him, and the evil Jack-in-the-Box flung him out of the nursery window. Down 3 stories, down to the street fell the tin soldier, and then into a drain which led to the sewer. In the sewer far below the street, it was a world that the tin soldier scarcely could have imagined. The soldier found his rifle and gripped it tightly. While he was as brave as any soldier ever was, the world of the sewer was a world of shadows, a place where dark shapes of clattering claws rushed by, and it filled him with fear. There were rats, and not friendly rats either, but big, surly water rats. He could tell from their manner that they were of a bad breed. Cried the rats. You aren't allowed to be down here without permission. You're breaking our laws, they taunted. For that, you will have to be punished. The tin soldier tried to escape, but there was no way out. Although he was hopelessly outnumbered, the soldier saw that he would have to fight. But the water rats grabbed him, and the steadfast tin soldier did not even have a chance. to be making sport of him. They overwhelmed him mercilessly. Just when all seemed lost, the tin soldier had a sort of vision. He could picture his beautiful ballerina, alone and vulnerable. Suddenly he knew, without doubt, that she was in terrible danger. His heart full of love for his ballerina, the tin soldier rallied all of his strength, and he fought back with such ferociousness that his enemies saw they had no chance against him. Somehow the tin soldier had to find his way back to the nursery and to the ballerina whom he loved. So he found an old cracked teacup and determined to use it as a boat and to sail out of the sewer wherever that might lead. The soldier and his little teacup traveled the inky blackness of the sewer until finally they came to a great opening that was blazing with light. It was the most amazing, incredible, astonishing thing ever. It had been weeks since the one-legged tin soldier disappeared. They turned the house upside down looking for him. They'd hunted under beds, behind pillow cushions, and even searched out in the streets. But now, here, inside the fish, was... The tin soldier's return had not come a moment too soon. Back in the nursery, his lovely ballerina was constantly having to fend off unwelcome advances from the repulsive Jack-in-the-Box. Cardboard Castle. It seemed strange to them that the ballerina was out of place. But they reunited the true lovers and then went on about their busy day of playing. Once they were alone, the toys all rejoiced at the tin soldier's return. But as they rushed to greet him, something was obviously wrong. He smelled like fish. In a case like this, there was only one thing to do. Then, suddenly, there she was. The ballerina for whom the tin soldier's love had only grown stronger. Occasion, said the rag doll. And all of their friends agreed. Tonight, they would have the biggest party ever. But not everybody was happy about the return of the tin soldier. The goblin Jack-in-the-Box reappeared. He taunted and scoffed at the tin soldier. He ridiculed his stiff military behavior and mocked his false leg. The goblin said that the soldier was unworthy of the beautiful ballerina, and he took her away. After that, panic and confusion ruled the nursery. It was up to the tin soldier to save the day. But this time, he had something more with which to combat the treacherous villain. He had the love for his ballerina, a love which had been made even stronger by his absence from her.